Hey guys, welcome back. So this is my fourth attempt to do this video. My phone storage is full, so I had to fix that. So anyways, I'm doing how to pour on your own Christmas ornaments. I've got two drying over on the side there, which I will show you in a moment. But first I'm going to go over just the type of ornament that I have. And they're the plastic ornaments that Michael sells. And I prefer the plastic to the glass ones that they have. Simply because I think the color dries a little bit more vibrant on the plastic ones. So this one here is a glass one, and though I like how this turned out, the colors on it are kind of dull. I mean, and kind of see-through too. As you can tell, it doesn't, I don't know how well you can see it through the camera, but it's got a kind of transparent vibe to it, especially if you look in the orange areas on the side and where my fingerprint is there. Didn't even notice that. But yeah, so I don't think it dries as vibrant on the glass as it does on a plastic bulb. As you can see, I got better coverage with this one. It's not very transparent. I did miss a spot up towards the top of this one, but that's okay because this is going on my tree, so I don't care that I missed that spot. But anyway, and they sell different packs of these. I got the 25 pack myself, just because I've been experimenting with different ways to pour on these, and I have had different ideas with pouring on these. I did these last Christmas. This is a Pikachu inspired ornament, so if you wanted to do like a themed tree, this is a good way to kind of do it, especially if you're going to use bulbs, and I think it's kind of cute. I just used a solid color and I poured that on here, and then after it was dry, I painted the Pikachu face on the front. I also have Bulbasaur that I did, and Charmander. I do have a Squirtle as well, but I don't know where he squirted off to, so I can't show you him at the moment. But you need about 2 to 3 ounces of paint to completely cover an ornament. And the way I have these set up, if you can see, I have, this is a wine cork here, and I just stuck a popsicle stick in the top of it, and then the ornament sits on top of that. It kind of helps if you leave enough popsicle sticks sticking up so that the ornament is like sitting on top of that versus trying to balance it on top of the wine cork. But yeah, I didn't nail that one as well. I've got a separate tin and drying rack that I have the two that I've already done drying, so I can show you that as well in just a moment. But the cool thing about having this aluminum tin underneath it is not only is it going to catch the paint, but it also makes it so it's easier to move. Once the paint has dripped down on this, and you'll see when I do it here in a second, the ornament pretty much sticks to the wine cork. So it's not going to move when I go to move it. You obviously want to be careful still, because there is always the possibility, but it's less likely to happen. So without further ado, colors I'm using the Artist Loft Flow Acrylics today. And I've got red, green, and white, classic Christmas colors. And I got little 3-ounce cups that I'm going to be using. So, I'm going to use the one that I used on the previous pours. So there's going to be a little bit of gold in here too, and it's not Artist Loft gold, it is Art Minds Metallic Gold. And I tried this out versus the Deco Art Americana golds, and I kind of like it. It's not as vibrant as the 24 karat gold, but Michael's was all out of the 24 karat gold, so I went with what I could get. Sometimes you got to do that. All right, so in my little cup here, I'm going to add some more red. And I'm holding this in my hand because I'm charging my phone, so I apologize for the movements. But, you know, as I said, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. Add some green, some white. Let me back up a little bit. And you know what? Since there's already gold in it, and the other two I did have gold, we'll add gold to this. For the record, this is difficult looking at the camera and making sure you pour it in the right spot while you're holding it. So this will be the only video I do this like this, but since I'm charging my phone, I can't put it on its lovely stand right there. All right, anyway. Here we go. So let me get this one on there nice and steady. So I'm going to do kind of like a tree ring style on it. And it's not going to turn out tree ring, you'll see. But here we go. And I recommend wiping off your ornament, making sure there is no, especially if you have pets, no cat hair, dog hair, your hair on the ornament. Make sure it's nice and clean before you pour on it. All right, so here we go. Let me get a good angle here. This is like, can you pat your head and rub your tummy at the same time? Challenge. And notice I'm not trying to do any perfect rings or anything like that. You really don't have to. Actually, I think that might be covering it. And as you're doing it, you want to kind of look on the sides and make sure the paint is flowing down. This is the good thing about me holding the camera this time. You can I can kind of move around and show you what I'm talking about. So see how it kind of drips down like that? That looks pretty cool, honestly. Let me turn this a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. And again, still the cool thing about doing these ornaments this way is you can, or with the tin on it, or underneath, is you can move it. I've also seen people use styrofoam as the base instead of wine corks, but I didn't have any styrofoam. I had wine corks, so that's what I used. All right, so that looks like it's going to get some pretty good coverage. And again, I'm not really concerned about having the whole thing completely covered. Like, as you can see on this one, there's a little spot that might be left uncovered, but I'm okay with that. I don't think it'll look terrible. And if it does end up drying terrible, I can always cover it up with paint. See? All right, so now we're going to do this one. And let me make sure it's nice and flat. Or standing upright. And here we go. Oh. That's less likely to happen if you make sure your ornament or your popsicle stick your ornament's sitting on is not all the way up to the top of it and not just sitting in there. Popsicle stick is what keeps it suspended. The cork is simply there to provide the weight to keep it from falling over. All right, so there's that one. And when I show you the other two that I did, one of them I did just like these two with the tree ring style, and then the other one I did a clean pour on. And I'm not as thrilled about it, so when we go over and look at it, just keep that in mind. I realize it doesn't look the greatest. Actually, I'm probably just going to swap the two trays. But no torching required. I tried doing it once, when I did these, and I'll be honest, there was a weird little like fireball type thing that kind of poofed up from the ornament, so I haven't done it since because, you know, fire's bad indoors. So you don't need to do that at all. The air bubbles will pop fine on their own. The torch really is only needed when you do canvas paintings, or if you go on a if you do it on a ceramic tile as well. Those are the only times you really need the torch for this style of painting. So keep that in mind. So this is, again, a good craft for kids to have them do a fun little ornament. And these dry fairly quickly as well. I think last time I've done them, they dried within an hour or two. At least enough for you to be able to move it. You don't want to touch them until you're completely sure that they're dry, otherwise you get fingerprints like you saw on the one that I showed you. So be mindful of that. If it looks wet, it probably is wet. Okay? If it looks dry, it's dry. So let it dry fully, or you'll get your nice fingerprints in it, which if you want a fingerprint in it, that's, again, artistic choices. You can do that if that's what you're going for. All right, so let me come over this way with you. Sorry, my table is a mess, so ignore that. So these are the two I did earlier. And as you can see, the one on the right is the one that I did the clean pour on. And the one on the right, or I'm sorry, the left, is obviously a dirty pour. So clean pour works if you're going to do like the Pokemon ones that I did over there. It's nice and solid, and obviously you're not going to mix colors with it. So that's a good way to do it. I might make the one on the right the Grinch. That might be a fun one to do. So if I decide to do that, I'll bring you back for another video on how to paint those, or I might just bring you back for a video to do that in general. But anyway, there's that. We'll come back to these ones. And there you go. If you haven't seen how to mix paint, my very first video goes over all of that. So hopefully I can link that in the description for you. But check that out to see how to mix the paint before you pour it. And again, this is a great craft and a fun thing to do with kids, just yourself, to make a unique type of ornament or gift, because these would be great gifts as well. Yeah. And then obviously once you're done with it, the way I finish them is I just take Krylon spray lacquer and I spray those with that just to seal the color in, make it nice and vibrant. And then I went and bought a bunch of Christmassy ribbon, thinner style ribbon, to tie for the hooks of these ornaments, and those work just fine. Or you can just go to the dollar store and get those dollar store hooks as well. That being said, I didn't mention this part. Make sure you take this part out of the ornament so that you can put it on your popsicle stick. Okay? All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'd love to see what you guys come up with yourself. Feel free to like this video, check out my Facebook page, and I also just launched my website. It's mythohippoart.com. All that info is on my Facebook page, so look those up, and remember to subscribe if you aren't already so you stay up to date with more content. Hopefully I should be doing more of these videos more consistently for you guys as well. Also, let me know if there's anything you want me to try. Okay? That is it for this video. I will see you next time.